Hey, everybody, it is Friday night. Welcome to another episode of the NLG show. We are one away from 150. I gotta move this light. Oh, my goodness. All right, there we go. One away from 150. Tonight, though, for our 149th show, which really doesn't have any real meaning to anything as far as numbers go, we have a great show for you tonight with some great... This is going to bother me all night long. Sorry.
You're telling me to. I'm all about Dutch angles today.
There we go. All right. We got a great show with some fantastic guests. They've all been on here before, but this is the two-part... it's like CBS. It's like a two-part crossover event. Multiverse invades NLG. What's up, boys?
Going well. Glad to be here.
Pretty good.
It's been a long time, Mike. It's been way too long.
It's like a month. I think you were on. I think you were on with us last month. You and
no.
Yeah, I think so. It might have been. Maybe it was January.
Maybe 2 months ago.
January.
Yeah,
I think it was January.
All right,
I think it was January. Yeah.
All right. Well, February is a short month, so
True.
give me
Fair.
that.
Fair.
So, Chris, what's up, brother man?
Hey.
Introduce yourself to the...
I'm Chris Williams, a.k.a. Fastback 6768. It is Fastback Friday. I'm excited to be here for the 149th episode with the Multiverse. I guess you didn't really want to get them on their 150th, so they're not that important.
Well...
They're 149th important.
Look, I'm not the one who picked this date, actually.
I know.
I believe the man who picked this date is the guy in the middle of the screen.
Nah, but it's awesome to be on with these guys again. All of them. It's been a while since
I can neither confirm or deny the existence of that.
Oh, well, it's great to have you guys on, man. It really is. So how are things over on the Multiverse side of things?
It's good, okay, going pretty good so far. We're handling the move over to the new channel pretty well, I guess. Slowly building up the base again, so we're pretty decent so far.
Awesome. And Sam, how are you, brother?
I am doing well. I am all too busy all the time, but I'm doing well.
Makes sense. And
When are you not busy?
That's a good question. When are you not busy?
Actually, there was a day in February I wasn't really that. It was nice. It was really nice.
One day.
One day.
One day. So, folks, by the way, let me know if the sound is okay. I know last week when we had Greg Johnson on, there was some issue with my microphone going on. It's hard for me to listen to myself. So if anybody has any feedback in the chat about how my microphone sounds this week, please let me know so I can adjust accordingly. You know what we need, Chris? We need a sound guy. That's what we need. We need a sound guy. Oh, wait, he's not even listening.
I guess that brings him out. The sound guy.
Yeah. I was saying, Chris, you know what we need? We need a sound.
Beer?
Yes, that too. We need a sound guy.
Sound guy.
Yeah. We need a sound guy. We need someone who can listen to us and balance our voices and whatnot out.
That's supposed to be Coop.
Yeah, where is he?
Playing the Division.
Like everybody else tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Cal? It is the head of Tick is in our...
Stinger clock time.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I realize that we're getting started a little late tonight.
He said 10 o'clock.
I did. Hey, look. Shabbat shalom. Okay. This is how it works. So like I said, man, it was 7:30 start time. What I was told, and we got a group of five fifth graders that are trying to leave the service. It could take a while, but when I got there, they're rushing me in at 7 o'clock at night, and I'm like, hey, we might make it on time. So and we didn't. So all right. So there's Coop. He says, "What's with echo? Is it echoing for you, Coop? I am not hearing an echo. Anybody else hearing an echo?
Nope. I'm not getting an echo.
All right, hold on. Cal is saying I am echoing. All right, hold on. See. Hold on. Me find out if I'm echoing. Yeah, I'm echoing. What the hell?
Weird.
Is it just you, Mike, or is it all of us on the call?
It might be all of you. All right. Hold on. Let me see if this helps. All right, say something. Everybody talk.
Stinger sucks at Division 2.
I haven't even played Division 2 yet.
Shiner Buck.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it. I fixed it. Sorry, guys. So I'm still trying to, like I said, I had some technical difficulties last week, and I was just trying to work them out. Okay, so enough of that. So let's go around the room, find out, has everybody played Division 2 yet? I have not.
I just started, like, just a little while ago. And, I don't know, I'm having a lot of problems with it, at least technically. So I'm not, like... But this is also launch day, at least technically.
Well, sure.
Technically launch day, so I'll give it a pass for now. Right now, there seems to be issues with connections to servers, like where I'm just like unloading clips of ammo into dudes. Like I won't even use my regular gun. I'll use up all the ammo. I have to use pistols, just because I know I have unlimited ammo for it. But I mean that's something that could easily be fixed. So I'm waiting.
Coop is already at level 16. This is what when you guys buy these special editions.
Yeah.
See, that's the only issue I've got. You know, when you get these early, you know, the early ones. If it's a game where, I mean, if I remember the original Division, if you were level 16 and I just got started, there's no reason for me to play with you. At least until I level up anywhere close to you, because there was no way for me to be effective. You know, so if Division 2 is the same way, there really is there's really no reason. I mean, I'm gonna have to go and play it on my own before I can go and play with Coop, or Peter for that
power
matter.
level you up to 16.
Yeah, but that I did that with the Division.
Stinger's a purist.
No, it's not. It's not that, because I actually did that with Division, but it wasn't fun while I was getting my ass kicked.
Or hiding under cover while they were taking care of the...
Exactly, and I didn't feel like I was doing it. And then one hit and I'm dead. One hit and I was done. So
it's right. I'm used to having Coop carry me, so I'll play with him tonight. He can do all the work while I level up.
That's all right. I'm gonna keep grinding away at Crackdown 3. I want to get that done. I'm almost there. I am almost done. I have been pumping so much time into that game. So
yeah.
You're almost. If you want, wait till the last boss. I'm on the last boss.
All right.
We can do that. We can do that co-op, and then we can stream that later on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Whenever you're ready. Yeah.
I've got all the. Let's see. I got all the towers. I got all the monorail. I got all the chemical plants. I got almost all the Monkey Moonshine.
Yeah, that was actually kind of annoying. There's some of them that are hidden very well.
Yes. One of them was... I found one of them in a race.
Yep.
I've got almost all the stunt rings. I've got all but about 5 stunt rings. And I've got well over 500 orbs now. So I'm maxed out on almost everything. So...
Nice.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of fun with it?
I love the game. The game is... Oh, my God. Let's go through Division 2 first, because I know I keep rehashing my Crackdown 3 love. We could spend an hour just talking about that. So, bottom line is, it's exactly what I thought it was. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. And I have not played anything else because I want to beat it. Which, by the way, puts that in my personal contender list for Game of the Year. Just saying.
Yeah,
when I take a game and I don't want to play any other game until I am done that game, that's like Horizon Zero Dawn was that, God of War was that, Crackdown 3, and I can see people, I can see them now, they're on the internet, and they hear it. It's like a bat signal. Somebody said something nice about Crackdown 3. Mike likes Crackdown 3. What? See, look.
We see a
There's
giant
Cal. There's Cal
head
right there.
size.
There's Cal right there. So that's my rationale for Game of the Year. If I can play it and I don't want to play anything else until I'm done, that is a candidate. So.
You know what, Mike? I got flack because I said on my podcast that State of Decay 2 was in my top 5 games of this generation. And people are like, what? No, you can't like that game.
I mean, you really shouldn't like that game. Zombie games are garbage, dude.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Right.
No, here we go.
Except they're all coming. Oh, DayZ is coming out. You guys see that? DayZ's coming to the Xbox on the 27th. Days Gone's next month. Days Gone went gold. Days Gone went gold.
I'm more excited for Days Gone. Yeah.
I actually am looking forward to Days Gone.
I'm looking forward to that too.
I'm not.
Days Gone is the only game with days in the name that I actually care about.
So, all right. So, Ivan's been having trouble. Chris is going to get on tonight. Sam, you played Division yet?
No, I have not. I am all about Devil May Cry right now.
And?
On Devil May Cry 5. I'm loving it.
All right.
And I'm going to be on Sekiro when that comes out next week, so that just doesn't leave any division.
Oh, Sekiro.
Hey.
Oh, my gosh.
That's okay. That's okay.
Wow.
Plenty of games to go around for everybody, so.
Cal is upset over my Crackdown love.
Okay, you know what? Hold on. I'll deal
upset.
with this. Cal, you said that friggin' Banjo-Kazooie was better than Perfect Dark. I don't want to hear any opinions on video games.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Well, Banjo-Kazooie is better than Perfect Dark, though.
Okay, no. Can we boot this man from the call? Get him out of here.
Oh my goodness, it's not the multiverse I know.
Nah, this is the multiverse. This is pretty normal.
Oh my goodness. Oh, see now see, look, Inferno knows and Banjo over Perfect Dark. Wow. So now popular. I don't even know about popular because Perfect Dark was,
People that say Perfect Dark wasn't popular aren't old enough to remember.
Well, there's right. So
which is sad because I'm 25.
All right, so but he's saying you said it was more popular, not better. He said that's what he said.
Okay,
So.
well, yeah, Cal, we're not talking about video games with you, boy.
Nick, you gotta bow to your seniors here, sir. I'm gonna be 26 next week. I remember a different time.
Oh my god!
Did you just say 26?
Yes.
Yeah, Mike, we're the old farts in this.
We are, man. I'm
Just
I'm about
Always,
to have
you guys
an
are always the old
man
friends
aneurysm
in every
right now.
podcast.
Wow. I'm gonna go get my walker and my cane. You kids get off my lawn.
I bet you need gamer glasses to be able to see on the screen, don't you?
Oh my goodness. Gamer glasses. You know they make those, right?
I know they
get
do.
those.
I know.
Yeah. Forgot what they're called, but I've seen them online.
They have a Division 2 special edition, the Gunner Optics or whatever.
Gunner,
They're like $89. They're like $89.
That is
and you get like a little. I'm just like, really?
That is insane. That is insane. That's because Joanna would shoot everybody on the track. She not playing. No one's crying for PD. You know what else nobody's crying for? Nobody's crying for Conquer anymore. What's wrong with America? What is wrong with America? We can't have a Conquer anymore. North America, both of them.
Do you really think 2019 social media atmosphere could handle a Conquer's Bad Fur Day? Like,
oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have no doubt. I have no doubt. Oh my god. Anyway, Nick, did you play the Division 2 yet?
I actually booted it up for about an hour, and it was really refreshing out of the pile of games that I've gotten recently. That is a nice couch, Ivan.
Yeah.
Nice, damn good couch, right?
I love the grandma blanket on the back of it.
Hey, man. So they're trying to be fancy here.
Hey, when you're young and single, you get whatever you can get.
That's right.
You get the hand-me-down furniture. Come on. I remember those
Fix
days.
some stock. Give me a second.
Uh,
I can't stand the Dutch angles, man. Sorry.
What's the matter with you?
Perfection.
Oh my god. Nick, Division 2.
So I played about an hour of it. It was really nice because after an absolutely infuriating time with Anthem, I managed to load into the Division 2 and beat the first mission, which took me a week to do in Anthem. But I had a good time with it. The only thing of note I could say is the game plays really smooth, and it's really cool how many, I posted on Twitter earlier, but how many accessibility options are within the game. You can have voice narration, subtitles, you can change the size of the subtitles. The actual call-outs your teammates use are subtitled as well. It's just really great so far.
Okay. Well, I like the Division, so I'm keen to play it, but then Sam reminded me that Psycho comes out next week. There's too many games. It's just too many games, not enough money.
There's way too many games. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's why at the beginning of the year, I made it a point that I pre-ordered the Anthem and Division 2. And of course, I still play Crackdown 3, but I figured I'm going to focus on Anthem and Division 2. So far, Anthem is my best sci-fi looter shooter this year.
Wow.
So I'm not going to compare it to Division. They're different games.
Wow.
I'm going to enjoy both. So, which I've already been enjoying Anthem.
I have not played. I have not played Anthem at all. I've stuck to my not caring about it. I really haven't. I've really had no feeling, and I said this for months. I've had no feeling for Anthem, and the beta kind of. It was like it reminded me of how I felt after playing the Destiny beta, the original Destiny beta. I was like, all right, I think I've played the whole game.
Young.
Well, I mean, those games are not really your type of games. I mean,
not anymore. Not as much as they used to be.
Yeah.
I remember when they used to be, but I don't know if I'm just getting.
All right, buckle in, boys. Here we go.
Getting.
Old man Stinger about to tell us how things used to be.
That's right. When I was growing up, you didn't have these newfangled open world games. You got from point A to point B, and if you died in the middle, you started over at a checkpoint.
I remember time when you didn't even have checkpoints. You got to start the game entirely over.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that because I remember as a kid having the Lion King game on the Sega Genesis, where if you ran out of lives, you had to start the whole game over. That no one talked to me about how hard games are until someone beats that game.
I forgot though. Didn't that have a password at least?
I don't know. I was a young dumb kid. I would not have been able to figure that out.
Huh.
And this is why you had to keep starting it over, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So, since we are not all playing Division, Sam, though, tell us, because I want to play Devil May Cry. See, that's the other thing. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that the library has it, because I might go rent that when I'm done in Crackdown and just to get through it. Because again, that's more linear, right? That's a Devil May Cry. It's start to finish.
Right. I've actually got a full review dropping tomorrow. I just finished writing it a couple of hours ago, so I've got a full in-depth review coming tomorrow. But basically, Mike, you played the older Devil May Cry games, right? You played did you play Ninja Theory's DMC?
No, I did not play the Ninja Theory one. I played the previous Devil May Cries.
Okay, but basically, the point I was going to make is it draws from both. Like, there's a lot of Devil May Cry 4 in here, but there's also, in the art direction draws a lot from Ninja Theory's game. It's far more realistic tones, far less of a gothic atmosphere. Like, there's still some, cathedral-esque locations, but now it's more ruined city and, fleshy, demonic areas and things like that. But man, the combat is... It's ludicrously good. The combos feel good. There's a bunch of different skills you can get. And there's 3 different protagonists. There's Dante, Nero, and V. V is the new guy. Right. And they all play completely different. So you've got like V, who can summon these shadow creatures and use them to wall it before he does a finishing move. Dante has his guns. Nero has different like robotic arms that can fire energy beams or razor whips or stuff like that. And what's really cool is the higher and higher you get your combo, the higher and higher the soundtrack gets, and the louder and louder it gets, and the more lyrics get added in. So it's playing the full theme song for that particular character if you're getting like a perfect combo going. And it is an absolute blast. It's cheesy. Like this is peak Capcom cheesiness, but it works.
I can deal with deal with that.
Good. Yeah. I highly, highly recommend it. Even if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of history with the series, like it's okay. I highly recommend.
So there's another question: is if you have not played a Devil May Cry, now I have, but for those who have not played a Devil May Cry before, can you play it and kind of figure out what
Yes.
Can you figure the story out?
They include a lore video, the history of DMC.
Yes, which actually UK Daz put on his YouTube channel for those who want to see it. So I had not watched it yet, but it's there.
Yeah. So it's all there. And honestly, even if you choose not to watch it, it's pretty easy to figure out. Like, in 90% of it, you can easily figure out. There's only going to be a couple of things that you might be like, huh? What's that? Okay. All right, cool. All right, but it's pretty easy to figure out, even if you don't choose to watch the lore video.
Gotcha.
So easier than Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
I mean, that would go without saying.
Okay. Sorry, not to be distracted, but I'm sitting here going, what is that squeaking sound? Trying to figure out what my cats are into. They found a mouse, and they have decided to play with said mouse. That's awesome.
They're doing their job.
Doing their job. So, now, hey. All right. Hey, guys. Leave it. Okay. This is making me sad, though, because I don't want to see them kill a mouse. I don't think they want to. I think they want to play with the mouse.
Do it live.
No, look.
People come for bloodlust.
They're in the background. Look at this. Look.
I see them.
We are seeing nature live at Mike's place.
The domestic house cat comes for its prey.
Zorro, hey! Oh my god, I feel so bad for this mouse.
Got Tom and Jerry going on in Mike's house.
Right. Get.
Wait, you guys, did you guys grow up on Tom and Jerry?
I did.
Yes,
I did.
grew up with Tom and
Y'all
Jerry.
did watch
Right,
it?
but at some point,
It's not allowed now.
Yeah, this mouse is not going to be hitting my cat with a hammer.
Will it?
Oh my goodness, I feel so bad. I'm like, all I hear is this, like every once in a while now I hear this squeak, and I'm like, I gotta text my wife and tell her send Jacob down here to get the mouse. This is great. This only happens on the Next Level Gaming Show. Where else can you get this and possible whales jumping from a guy we interview in Maui?
Yeah, crazy.
Rudu says we're America. We just arm the mouse with planes to fight for their freedom. Oh my god! Can you send Jacob to get the mouse?
It's all fun and games until the mice are organize an uprising with muskets.
Well, the cat kills it. All right, Zorro. Hey, get. Stop. Hey, come on, out.
All right.
The sad part is I think it's injured. Stop. Get him back. Back, beast. Okay.
So who's playing Fallout 76? That's a great game right there. That's a great game right there.
I actually am. A little bit.
Are you really?
I'm playing it right now.
Ever since he roped me into it, I am.
I need to jump back in there and get me some Fallout 76.
Let no man ever say Anchorman does not put money behind the games he loves.
This is true. You very much. I have not. You are the epitome of defense of the Todd Howard Defense Force. I will give you that. Hold on. Jacob, he's under there. I need you to get him.
Sorry, guys.
All right, so while we're talking about that, Google.
Goggles.
Google.
Goggles.
Yes. So, apparently, next week, Google is going to be announcing their new gaming initiative, I guess I shall call it. And they are calling it Project Yeti.
Blue Yeti?
No, unfortunately not the Blue Yeti. But that's the code name, which of course isn't what it's going to be when it's done. But I was, curious as to everybody's thoughts. Now, I know you guys, Ivan, you were on Iron Lords on last Sunday. You guys talked about it a little bit.
Was?
I think you were.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure you were. Oh well.
Ivan was probably drunk. That's why he forgets.
That could be. It was a Sunday. So all right. So here's what we know. So, so Google is inviting media next week at GDC to an event called Inferno knows because he was there. Google's Future of Gaming event. So, for those of you who don't already know, there has been some. Google has had a little bit of an arm, a toe in the water, so to speak, with at least game streaming. For those who are able to stream Assassin's Creed Odyssey from Google Chrome browser. It was part of their Project Stream. It was a public trial, and they're taking that information and are going to start working through that, and so the question became, what was going to come next? And so, was Google going to jump head first? Was Google going to create some hardware? Was Google going to just have a streaming service, somewhat like what Microsoft is doing in Project xCloud? And so they think that there are people. I read something from Investor Place that talked about the possible piece of hardware that Google might use, which is called the Project Yeti. So the only thing we know at the moment, we don't know anything about the hardware itself, but we know that Google Cloud will host games. They'll stream real time to whatever this device is, or they may you may stream to other devices too. So the question is, are they dipping their are they coming in full bore into the hardware market? Are they going to try? Are they in this to try to take on Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony? And if they are, how in the world are they going to do that without internal studios? I guess that's a great question. So I will open this up to you guys for discussion, and whoever wants to get started on this,
can you hear me?
Means. Yes,
Yep.
you can.
All right. I'm having issues with my phone. I'm going to switch over to the Xbox. I don't know what's going on.
All right.
Give me a sec. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, in the meantime,
while he does that, do you mind if I take the lead on this?
By all means.
Okay, so that's really the question, right? No, I've gotten contradictory answers when I ask different people, and no one really has the full picture as to what's going on here. With that in mind, I think that this is going to be a streaming service. Okay, I don't believe that this is going to be a full console in the sense of natively running games on powerful native hardware. It'll be very minimum spec, designed to stream games, because Project Stream was designed to work off of your Chrome browser. That's what it was designed to be streamed. That's the entire point of it. And with all the money that they're pouring into that, I don't see it. I could be wrong. I don't see it being aimed for native hardware, especially since, like you said, Mike, they don't have any internal development studio. None. Even Amazon has one or two. Google doesn't have any. They're partnering with third parties on this.
Right.
And so as a result, they don't have any of their own content. They're going to have, third-party content to offer through streaming. We know Ubisoft will be one of them, because Assassin's Creed Odyssey was the game that worked on Project Stream. Ubisoft is going to be there at the Google event. Probably going to be some others as well. So with that in mind, that begs the question, how do they make this valuable to people? How do they make this a compelling product if it can just work off of your browser, if they're going to intend to have it everywhere? Like, what's their game plan? And those are the questions we don't really know the answer to. They've got some competent people. They've hired Phil Harrison.
Yep.
And very recently, they got Jade Raymond, formerly of EA and Ubisoft. Now, it is important to note about Jade. I will note this. She's a producer. You have different types of studio heads. You got your creatives, your writers, your engineers. She's a producer, which is one of the more uncommon types. And she was literally responsible for starting new studios. She helped found Ubisoft Toronto. She helped found EA Motive Studios.
That's correct.
So, with that in mind, maybe we're going to see them develop their own teams? I don't know. I realize that's a lot more vague questions rather than answers, but that's really where we're at. If I had to guess, though, I'd say it's a streaming box with third-party content made dirt cheap. That's my best guess.
Now, how cheap is dirt cheap?
I don't know.
$350.
I'm good. From Valve's mistakes with the Steam box, I'm gonna say they're gonna throw it out for like $99.
Yeah. Well, this immediately made me think of Steam and what they tried to do. Also, for you youngins. Yeah, I know there was a little bit of skipping going on. Sorry. For you youngins, there's an old console that almost got me. It almost fooled me. Called the Infinium Labs Phantom. And I remember seeing it at an E3, and it was like, wow, this is, it was that same thing. You'll be able to download. What are you doing?
Making.
Why don't you just grab the mouse?
There goes Papa Stinger going off on a tangent,
He is
stopping mid-story.
Sorry, I mean my son is going.
Making a leopard plan.
My son is going.
Yeah, Leprechaun.
Yes, he's.
All out warfare.
Oh my goodness, my son is going all Phineas and Ferb to try to collect this.
This is war.
He said this is war. Oh my god, it's not war, it's a mouse, son. Anyway, so
There was that movie called Mouse Hunt, something like that.
right. So anyway, the Phantom console was supposed to be this awesome thing that you could download games to. It was going to be replaceable hardware, so it was like a PC, but it was gonna it was the whole thing, and it died in a fire. It really did, because it never got to where it needed to be. So my question is, we have this stream of consoles already out there. Microsoft and Sony are already working on their next set of consoles. So where is there room for this? Especially since Microsoft's doing their own streaming, and you know that Sony is on its way to doing the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's something that I wait to see what this is going to be. I mean, I don't. This fit for me.
Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. We're having some more technical difficulties.
Xbox.
Jerry's gone after the wiring.
Yeah.
So,
all right, here we go.
So I don't know where this fits for me. So I'd like to see what they show next week. But it's interesting that like Sam was saying, maybe they're going to bring it out. I see it more like a streaming. I don't see Google trying to get in on what Xbox and PlayStation are already doing with traditional. You already got consoles and all that.
Right.
So,
well, they put out a teaser video. Let's see if I can show it here without killing the computer. I don't know what's going on with the computer usually. So this
of course, they already showed off when you could play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right?
Right. So you were already able to do that.
That was kind of successful. So they're probably going to be working with third party, bringing some of that, but.
We're going to find out next week.
It seems like they're working with Ubisoft somewhat.
Well, they're working with Ubisoft. There's rumors right now. I saw an article go out earlier that Square Enix is debuting its Avengers game at Google's GDC conference, which would be massive. If people start associating that game with Google console, then this might get interesting. But I think Google's game plan is in the long run, because the thing is unlike a lot of companies, they've got the headroom where they can just throw their weight around. They can just go, all right, we want to buy this, we want to do this, we want to. It's scary in the sense of how much freedom they have to do that and whatnot, but I don't think they even have a solid game plan of what they want to do. Like, you either have to come in hardware or you have to make a stream box. But when you're streaming through a browser, it doesn't make sense to try to sell a stream box when people are playing a AAA game through a browser. Like, how are you going to convince people? People are going to be like, why am I going to buy a box when I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey 1080 60 FPS on Google Chrome?
Well, and that's the question is, are we talking about, what they haven't, and we'll know next week is, if this is streaming only, who is this targeting as far as the geographic market too, because, there's not everybody's got, awesome internet like we do. And I hear this a lot. I heard this a lot in 2013. So, I'm curious as to who they're going to market this to.
The key thing for Google in terms of stream quality is the requirements for Google Stream was way lower than the requirements for PS Now and other previous streaming services. PS Now recommends you have a 50 megabyte per second download.
Right.
Or 50 megabytes down. That's their recommended speed. The Google testing, I believe, was between 25 to 30 was the requirement.
Somewhere in there, yeah. Maybe
it was in the mid-range. Right. Anyways, so they've got that significantly down, but the thing is like there's still parts of America where you can't get over 5 or 10 down.
Right.
Most of, like, if you go to the UK, their internet is scary over there. It's like 2 up. Like, their internet's terrible unless you buy like super expensive packages and whatnot. So, is streaming the future? Streaming is the future if the internet technology can get to the masses. The thing is that will they succeed in rural areas? Probably not. But how are they going to do with large mass areas? Is this even a target for North American audiences, or is this something Google's going to try to pitch into like Japan or something like that? Because they have ridiculous internet in Japan. So if they're trying to market that, that would kind of make sense. But as you said, I don't know. It seems weird that they're going to unveil hardware at GDC when they don't have any in-house stuff. Like, all you're going to show off is games that we're already going to be able to play on PS4, Xbox One, PC, whatever.
Yeah.
So, like...
My question, though, is what's going to happen if they actually unveil it with no exclusive games or and it's a huge success.
Well, then it's gonna be another player in the market.
No, I'm just talking about what about the narrative too. I guess
Oh.
you don't need exclusives to be successful.
Well, the thing is that there's a lot of things that factor in that people don't like talking about. Everyone in a social media construct likes to talk about exclusivity sell consoles. But as someone who has had friends that work at GameStop and everything else, there's a lot that plays into a console purchase. There's price point, there's flexibility of the system, there's so many different factors, and that is exponentially more than it even used to be, because these consoles are essentially, there's so much more to a console than there used to be. Like, I remember the idea of like watching a DVD on my 360. I'm like, why would I do that? Like, it's my video game console. Why would I do that? And now I say that as my PS4 plays my Netflix, plays my YouTube for my kids, plays my video games. Me and my wife watch movies on it, yada, yada, yada. So the consoles are evolving on what they can do. So it's like, what can Google bring to the table is the question. I'm just not necessarily sure they've got enough to interest the hardcore. But if they come out with a streaming box where they're like, hey, you can buy digital games on here or stream games at a really low price and the box is like $79.99, it won't replace PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo, but it'll take a chunk out of the market for those that are interested.
Well, so then will it take anything? So let's say the two competitors in the streaming market are at this moment going to be Microsoft and Google, because right now they're the only two that are really doing it with any success. The PS Now doesn't have PS4 game capability like Microsoft does, and like Google and that kind of thing. So let's say for the moment they're your two heavy hitters. Are they gonna without? Let's back up a minute, because unless Microsoft decides to support Google as well, you do have sort of a choice where you're going to go. Are you going to play? Where are you going to play Halo and Gears and stuff like that? Are you going to stream it through xCloud, or are you do you not care and you'll get both? I mean, there's I don't know. I'm not sure whose market Google's going to take a chunk out of, though.
Well, if you're talking streaming, if we're talking game streaming, the real people that are going to lose a chunk of market, and I say this is Nintendo. And Microsoft and Google, especially if you start talking about on-the-go devices, is you start talking about, as it goes into your next topic with Xbox Live going to, iOS and Android. These devices being on the go, they're essentially killing the handheld market. Because your phone is now your handheld device.
Right.
You don't need to buy a Vita. You don't need to buy a 3DS. You don't need to. Your phone does it for you now. You already have a companion system to your home console. I think Nintendo has the most to lose in the terms of that the Switch's selling point is the portability, and of course Nintendo's games, which no one's going to get their hands on.
No.
But the portability aspect, I think if xCloud and Google can deliver on that, it's going to be a fight.
Well, and that's why I think that's why a lot of people thought too that Microsoft was, because they were they want to expand their Xbox Live SDKs to a number of other devices, and I remember their GDC talk mentioned the Switch. So I thought that's maybe one of the reasons that we all thought that Microsoft was going to target Switch was maybe to form that bond before Google did anything, in case Google talked to Nintendo and worked something out. So now that is still remains to be seen. I know that there was some cold water kind of dumped on the whole rumor of and it wasn't even a rumor. It It was, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Game Pass came to Switch? I don't think anybody thought it was actually going to happen, but it was one of those. Oh, this is kind of.
Oh, don't you underestimate the stupidity of the average gamer.
A lot of people
Like-
thought,
Right, this is true. So,
People thought Sony was going to buy Take Two, so
we're not
yeah,
going to
where
do
did
that.
that come from?
We're not dignifying that by talking about it.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's
it's not
not.
even worth it. Yeah.
So, yeah, so I mean, I thought that's what would happen. And so, I'm looking across GDC, by the way, just to see if what the names of the sessions are, because I remember Microsoft changed theirs to Microsoft Game Stack. And I don't know if you guys saw this the other day. Not only did they announce that, but they opened up their own Twitter feed for it. And the Game Stack kind of turned into, okay, well, this is what we want to do is we want to take our entire platform of Azure, PlayFab, and DirectX, and Havoc, all that stuff, and we want to make it available across, Xbox Live. We want to make it available across any device that wants to use it. Which, of course, threw everybody into, oh my god, Microsoft's going third party. You're going to put stuff on the PlayStation 4. No. Sony's never gonna want it, number one. No. And number two, there are, with Game Pass, I keep hearing, Microsoft's going to put Game Pass on the PS4. They can't. They have contracts with third-party developers that would have a conniption if they even tried that. So, not to mention Sony wouldn't want it. So, this is more about getting stuff streaming to PCs and mobile. I thought Nintendo would still be a player in this, and I'm not sure at the moment. Sam, have you heard anything?
You always hear different things, right? But I'll say this: I wouldn't rule out Game Pass or coming to the Switch yet. I would not rule it out as something that cannot happen just because it's not happened yet. If that makes sense, we got to keep in mind something here. If that does happen, it'll happen through streaming. I think we all accept that,
yeah,
right?
It has to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Microsoft streaming hasn't even entered public beta testing yet. Like, it's
Right.
going to this year. It will enter public beta testing this year. They're working on it right now. They showed off at Inside Xbox. It's not ready yet, so why would they announce it, Game Pass, for the Switch, if it can't even happen for the next year and a half? You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't rule it out as being impossible yet. But right now, that's not what's happening. Right now, they're talking about Microsoft Game Stack. And I presume that, Mike and Fast, that you guys saw that announcement? You saw the details of all that?
Yeah, and I'm actually on the Game Stack site at the moment taking a look at it. It's basically, but that's different. That's not the same as Project X Cloud.
No.
That is, they want their development tools on, and I guess we can start. I don't know if I really got a current picture for this, but I'm just gonna grab the GDC picture here. They've kind of turned this into, we want our entire tool set from Xbox Live to using our Azure servers to like I said, the PlayFab, to anything that Microsoft's development kits can do for the Xbox and for the PC. They want to be able to open that up to the rest of the development community, for anybody who's building, an Android game or an Apple game. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is all of Microsoft stuff, like all the middleware they've purchased. PlayFab, which was last year, combined with the Azure cloud servers, Havoc, Simply Gone 3D rendering, all that. It's no longer, no, this is just for our teams. Now it's like, hey, are you a third-party developer? Cool. How about it? Here's our tools. Go nuts.
Well, I was gonna say they've always kind of had that mentality with some of their stuff too, because Havoc is in Uncharted. Because if you actually watch Uncharted 4's credits, it's credit to Microsoft and Havoc and the end credits, which is
sure. And Sony just purchased Wise, which is Audio Kinetic, which is used in like 90% of games. Like middleware is owned, but this is Microsoft consolidating it all under one roof. It's not over here, bits over here, and teams over here. It's all in one place.
Right.
And to open for Android and iOS devices, which is neat.
Yeah. Basically, if you want to make a game and you don't want to, it's basically aimed at developers that, want to use middleware instead of using their own proprietary systems to make their farm simulator work online with other online folks. I mean, it's a cool concept, and it does. Here we go. Here's a picture of. This is what I was looking for. And this doesn't. This is for companies that don't have their own. There's no way that I wasn't expecting, for example, Nintendo to use all of it, but the question. Originally was they specifically said, we were, bring your stuff out on PC, mobile, and Switch. They're not saying that anymore. Now they're just saying, anywhere, anybody that wants to use it.
Right.
Well, it makes sense. You buy all this middleware up, and you had to spend money to get it. So what's the most efficient way to make money back? Make it available to a wider customer base.
Right.
It's just like. Sorry, go ahead, dude.
I said it's really part of this branching idea that Microsoft has of Microsoft for so long, because they monopolized the PC market so long with the Windows operating system, kind of got complacent as a whole company, and now they kind of seem to understand that they have a really unique opportunity where all their ecosystems can kind of help each other out. So by opening up their whole ecosystem as a whole, I'm not just talking Xbox, I'm talking Mixer, I'm talking all these different businesses they've purchased over the years can all be used as one focused idea.
Right.
And
all the things you see on the screen here.
Yeah, so we won't have things like the Windows Phone where it came out and there was no support for it because they didn't really know what they were doing in that market because they didn't have the people or the big companies to support that. I owned a Windows Phone. I loved my Windows Phone. But having to use a Twitter app that was third-party made by some company that was outsourced in India...
Twitter, YouTube,
yeah, everything was outsourced apps. That was abhorrent and terrible. And I think that with this focus and with them pushing Surface devices and pushing all this stuff, it's just a really focused, idealized game plan. I think that was part of what Phil pitched Xbox to Nadella is how Phil got to where he is now, is by going, hey, Xbox can really do this great thing and we can really do something as a team. This is the first time Microsoft has done anything as a whole unit, and it's really interesting to watch from a business standpoint.
Well, and I think where people are missing the message, and I don't. This is not one of those times when I blame Microsoft for messaging. Oh, and thanks, Coop, for he started a Division clan for us.
Nice.
I don't blame Microsoft for the messaging here because the messaging here is very, very straightforward. So this is not their fault. Somehow this turned into Microsoft's putting their games on the PlayStation 4. I saw it and I'm like, and these were like real articles, and you're like, what? And if you read what this is, it's exactly as you were talking about, Nick. It's taking every component they've got, putting it under one roof, and basically saying, if you want to create a game, why not use our tools to create it? You can customize it, you can standardize it, and then you can, it may not be so hard if you make it on PC. Now, here's where they can rub it in too. Oh, you make it on PC and you're using our game stack. It's that easy to just port it over to the Xbox.
Yep.
One thing that still doesn't happen all the time. But it says right on their page, another major component of GameStack is Xbox Live. Today we're excited for Xbox Live to become part of Microsoft GameStack, providing identity and community services. Under GameStack, Xbox Live will expand its cross-platform capabilities as we introduce a new SDK that brings this community to iOS and Android devices, which also means the next company that makes their game and uses Microsoft GameStack, even if they don't want to put the game, if they put the game on Xbox, they put the game on PC, they put the game on mobile like a Fortnite, they can play together without. So this is, and Coop said, you know what? It's really funny because that's where I was headed. Coop says something right now that is exactly true. He says we need more UWP. Remember that initiative, the UWP? It crashed and burned, but this is their. I think this is their. Okay, we looked at it. And here's how we correct those mistakes, kind of thing.
They haven't abandoned it. They're keeping it going. And this is the thing where
this is the evolution of it.
Right. This is the evolution. Play Anywhere is going to continue, but going from here, like they even talk about. I pulled up the page as well, Mike, and it's like with PlayFab, the servers that they purchased last year, that they've integrated. It's like if a developer is trying to make voice chat for their game, guess what? They can just copy Xbox Party Chat. Use that very same software, import it. There you go. There's your voice chat. It works. Done. Ubisoft is now using Azure servers for a lot of their games, such as Rainbow Six Siege, for example. I think the Division 2 as well. Don't quote me on that one, but I know Rainbow Six Siege. And you guys remember when Satya Nadella took over Microsoft and he announced that all the Office apps, Word, presentation, stuff like that, were coming to Mac software. Were coming to Macs and iPads and Apple. Mm-hmm. And people mocked, people laughed, people screamed in the streets. But what happened? It completely wiped out the competition. Google Docs has like a 5% market share compared to 95% of Microsoft Office as a result. I see the same thing happening here.
Yeah.
And they know it.
Mm-hmm.
They know it. So.
Well, and it's also important to note, too, because you brought up the whole everyone bringing the hubbub about Xbox games are going to go to PlayStation and all that everyone spun around. The key thing to note is that Sam pointed this out to me. If you go to the Xbox Wire xCloud announcement article, where they show off, like they have the clip from inside Xbox where they're playing xCloud, and then they've got the article. If you go into the article, there is 3 separate sections within that article where they go, this is not replacing your console, this is an option.
Yep, it says it right here.
And
they even said that on Inside Xbox show too.
The thing is that we went from Microsoft having terrible PR and marketing and just not great communication with its fan base to now basically just standing on a stage and yelling their point, and people are still convoluting it to spin it to the way they want. And we've seen, the thing is that there's some media is responsible for this. Me and Sam were talking about this earlier. It was like when that Scalebound coming to Switch rumor came out, and then the guy who wrote it came out in a tweet like 3 hours later and was like, oh, well, I just thought it'd be really cool.
Right.
And you're just like, this isn't your job. Like, if I was going to write an article about how I wish Scalebound came to Switch, my title would be, if Scalebound was revived, it would work well on the Nintendo Switch. That would be my article title. I'm not going to be Scalebound is coming back on Nintendo Switch.
I would call it an editorial.
Yes, exactly. And this is the thing, is that it doesn't matter how crystal clear your marketing is, if certain people have a perspective that they want to see, they're going to see it regardless of the information you provide them. And those kind of people are going to get left in the dust in the next generation. I said it on my show, and I'll say it here. 2020 is going to be a rough year if you're a console warrior, because your life is going to get very, very boring very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Wait, Ivan's still alive?
I've been here. I was waiting. I don't like. I'm just sitting back listening.
You're just a big S in the middle of the.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we have to continuously, like Xbox has to continuously try to dispel some of these rumors. You know, like the whole deal. Like Phil said way back then that we are still committed to traditional consoles. You can play it that way, or if you want to play it on mobile, you want to play however you want to play it. But I don't understand why they have to continuously try to defend that and repeat that.
Well, the biggest
we live in that clickbait, social media. Just like the
Well,
whole deal. Where did the whole deal come about? Where Xbox Live is going to be, the Game Pass and all that is going to be on the Switch. I mean, we never saw that confirmed, or from Xbox themselves, right?
No, the only thing that we saw was their GDC breakout that said they wanted to get their SDK out on the Switch. They did mention Nintendo specifically in their GDC talk, or in their original. That's the thing. I don't think it's the same now. I think now that they've done this game stack, they've also kind of they have kind of changed the wording of what they're coming to talk about, and I think that's important too. And maybe some of that came from the fact that as soon as they started talking about it, people went there. I mean, we talked about it. We didn't say it was happening. We just said, "Hey, wouldn't this be cool?" But I think once it got out there that people were actually believing this, or believing that it was going to happen, because they mentioned Nintendo, that I think they said, all right, well, we need to back up, and kind of reapproach this, and we'll say iOS and Android, but everyone else could be, wherever you are. Like here. So I put it up on the screen. xCloud will open the world of Xbox to those who might not otherwise own traditional dedicated gaming hardware. So that's not saying that to me doesn't say Switch or PS4. That says to me, that says to me my phone.
Yeah.
My tablet, my maybe my PC. It maybe.
But that's their focus first.
Right.
They've been saying they want. I mean, and they're not the only ones. We saw last E3 where you saw, EA. They all showed a little bit of mobile gaming, right?
Yep.
So everybody's kind of focused on. They want to bring some mobile, in. They want to get in on that mobile. So Xbox is focused on that, and like Sam was saying, that we're still going to get we still got to beta test the xCloud sometime this year. So
I expect that to be an E3 announcement.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you, but at this point, that's what.
And that's one reason why I'm excited for getting the Samsung, the S10, because if I could play some of my games on my mobile, not all of them. There's certain games like I want to play Anthem and big AAA games on my mobile, but there's certain games that I would, So
even
if I could still get achievements from that.
Yeah, like dude, for me, even if it's not good enough, if the reactions just aren't good enough for me to do multiplayer, if it's good enough for me to play my single player games on the go. Do you know how helpful it will be some of the time? Like if one of my brothers is using the Xbox, or I'm away and I want to work on something, it's like, oh, I need to get a screenshot of this game. Let me just whip out my phone, stream whatever I'm playing, take a screenshot that way. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and you know what? I'm gonna put the prediction out there for Xbox's E3. You're gonna see some form of, if they do any form of xCloud demoing, it's gonna be in partnership with Razer. I guarantee you, because Razer has those really nice new gaming geared phones that they're trying to sell that are like half the price of the iPhone and Samsung phones right now. And I guarantee you, if they're like, hey, we could sell you these high-end phones that you can do the best streaming. This is the premium way to play your games on the go. I see it happening. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because when I was reading up on some Samsung S10, it brought up that it's going to be better for gaming. It's set up. So the mobile market is already gearing up. They're getting ready for this xCloud, the streaming, whatever Google's going to bring. Sony's going to get on it. So it's interesting to see later on, is Nintendo, it's all about their Switch. It's mobile, but it's eventually they're going to have to get in on that streaming to bring their
in
service
2030
mobile. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're behind the curve. Let's not push Nintendo. We're just now getting parties here. Well, we haven't even got parties yet, but we're still. Let's give them a break. Like they'll figure it out.
And I was kind of excited that it would have been cool if Xbox Live services were going to be available on the Switch, to where I could play on the Switch and get on party chat with anybody that wherever they're at. That would have been cool.
Yeah, and there's no reason to think that still can't happen. I brought this up because this was the change in their text. This is off the GDC site. Now it simply says across platforms.
Yeah.
I wish I had the old version that specifically said Switch, because it did. It originally did.
It was along the lines of, come see at GDC the future of the SDK that's going to bring Xbox Live across consoles, mobile devices, PC, and Switch. It was something like that.
It said,
yeah.
That's what it said.
You know what that helped me, Mike? One thing is, because you guys remember when Mike Ybarra tweeted out rumor, the definition of, like, according to Merriam-Webster, and that was pretty funny.
Uh-huh.
So it's entirely possible that it was never quite meant to be that way, and they just included it because of Minecraft, which does require Xbox Live. That's one possibility. The other possibility is,
does it because it's on?
Yes, you need an Xbox Live account. Yes.
Yeah.
To play crossplay.
To play crossplay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So that's a possibility. The other possibility is that they are going to still bring it, but they're working on it. They didn't get it nailed down in time. That's also a possibility.
Which means they could push that announcement off till E3 if they were going to make something like that.
Or even EXO 2019. Yeah.
Possibly. See, I'd have thought they would want to do it before Reggie walked out the door.
Have Reggie come on Xbox's stage.
I'm telling you, that was and what they could do to set that up is put that picture from the Game Awards up on the screen and crop out Sean
Layden.
Yeah.
No, what I want if they bring Reggie out onto the Xbox stage, they need to have a Wii Fit board there. And we all know how that goes.
Yes. or from the back, you just hear, "My body is ready," and he just runs and he comes out. Remember? I don't know if you guys remember this or not. Because this was PS3. Remember when Gabe Newell came out at Sony when he announced that Portal was coming to the PS3?
Yeah.
And it started off with the Portal computer, and then he walked out, and that could be something like that. It's not going to really happen. I think I think that's pretty safe.
But it's nice to.
We can dream, can't we?
It's nice.
It's the crossover we deserve.
Right.
No, Reggie got wind of all this Xbox and Nintendo kumbaya, and he said, "Not my Nintendo," and then he said, "I'm retiring."
Yeah.
I'm retiring. This is the age of Bowser.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How fitting is that? So this is going to be. So you guys know that by the time Multiverse starts on Monday, you're gonna have plenty to talk about because GDC starts on Monday.
Oh yeah.
Why do you think we do shows on Monday? Damn. Like there's a reason.
So, hey, we do
planned
shows
this out.
We do shows on Friday night because some stuff breaks Thursday night, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be all week.
It is. It's going to be. This is going to be good. Now, people that are expecting like E3 style game announcements, I think you guys are. You're setting yourself up for disappointment. I don't think.
Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
No. I think you were about to say what I'm about to say. This is for developers. You're going to hear about technology. You're going to hear about the things like this. But you're not getting. Nobody's getting the first world premiere trailer of Gears of War or
No.
Halo Infinite here. So
this is, if you want to pay attention to where development is going to be next gen, this is the DNA of it.
Yeah.
Pay attention to this, and you'll see the DNA of what developers are up to.
Exactly. You're gonna see the right. You're gonna get more Project X Cloud. You're gonna get the Project Yeti from Google. You're gonna get that kind of stuff. And that's about it. I haven't even. And again, I feel it's always difficult for us because we're a multi-platform show. We support everything, and I can't find jack about what Sony's going to talk about. Like, I'm on GDC's site. I don't even think they have a breakout. Like, I'm not even sure what they do. Like, usually they'll have like a post-mortem on a cool game or something. I don't even know what they're bringing.
I think the Sony Santa Monica crew is doing a presentation on God of War. I want to say they are. I want to say that's happening.
Yeah, I was going to say, aren't they doing a panel? I thought I saw something about they were doing a panel on branching technology and something like that about how they took the game from its core originally and then brought it to what it was or something. Something about the road of development. That's about all that I saw when scanning through GDC in regards to that.
It would be nice. I mean, I'll take anything. Oh, you know what? But that's Insomniac. Well, technically, Insomniac's doing a Spider-Man postmortem. All right, so here we go. Animation Boot Camp, God of War, breathing new life into Hardened Spartan. That's from Sony Santa Monica. Characters. Okay, so they are doing some things. Characters to get immersed in, creating the cast of Blood and Truth. That's Sony London. Animation Boot Camp, Animation Tricks and Trade. That's a bunch of people. Sony Santa Monica, Oddbird, Moon Studios, Studio MDHR, Molasses Flood, and League of Geeks. Level Design Workshop, the level design of God of War. Art Direction Boot Camp, what they don't teach you in art school. Lessons for first-time leads. So these are boot camps, which is cool. Here we go. Santa Monica Studios presents God of War, presented by Autodesk. Wind Simulation of God of War. God of War. Making of Astrobot Rescue Mission. Ooh. Reinventing platformers for VR. I still have to get that.
I would literally, like, any of these boot camps, I would saw my left leg off to just, like, listen to them.
I want to see it. I will hold you to it.
Daz has taken over the NL Gaming account on the Twitch account. All right, see you, Inferno. What else are they doing? So, playtesting God of War. It's a lot of God of War. The future of scene description on God of War.
So, if you're going to do postmortems on one of your games, I mean,
well, these aren't necessarily postmortems. These are here's how you do things.
Well, I think Sony Santa Monica is doing all this because Rockstar is basically keeping their stuff they did for Red Dead a development secret at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, Rockstar, how'd you do that really cool? Shh.
Right.
I think I always get amused because GDC is always one of those events that for most of the gaming population flies under the radar because it's really in-depth stuff that a lot of people just don't think about the games on that level. And
right.
I don't know. I enjoy that stuff. I love it. It's like I sat down, I listened to a podcast and it was about the audio design in GoldenEye. And I spent like an hour listening to how they did audio design and how they were like trying to get gun sounds without using actual guns. So they're like trying like throwing garbage cans down like hallways to try and get gunshot sounds to sound right and things like that. I love that stuff. But that's what GDC is all about. Like
exactly.
Technological advancements, improving how they make games, improving efficiency at making games, sharing trade secrets, etc., etc.
Yeah, and just so people know, let's see. Google. So Google's doing Keynote at 10 a.m. and they're going to talk about. I think they're going to probably talk a little bit about that. I mean, they're all over the place. Let me see if I can find. Nothing that for Yeti. Google Gaming. Google Games Developer Day sessions. So when is this thing going to happen? Because
I want to say it's Tuesday.
Okay.
Let me give me a moment here.
Yeah, I'm looking through the. Go ahead, because I'm looking through it.
I wrote about Jade Raymond joining, and I linked to this. So,
because I would like to watch it. That's one that I would like to see. I'm very curious. Building a community. Well, that's Rarebyte. Yeah, that's Tencent's going to be there. Huh. So the project.
Here we go. March 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific.
All right.
And March 19th is a Tuesday. So yeah, it's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We will know what Google is doing on Tuesday.
Tuesday at 1, basically. And Thursday at 10 a.m., we will find out what Microsoft's doing, because that is when the Project X Cloud is going to be. Now, I'm going to watch both of those. I am very, very interested in both, because I want to see.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And competition, at the core idea of competition, is a good thing.
Yeah.
For the industry. It keeps everybody on their toes. I'll tell you this. If Sony wasn't doing so well and Google wasn't prepping to get into the industry, we might not have seen Microsoft go on that buying spree.
Possibly.
That's true.
Possible.
But we also might. But we also to be fair though, we also might have seen Microsoft's original vision play out too.
Oh sure. No. It's balance and counterbalance and all things going at 800 miles an hour. Absolutely. That's just right.
Let's get somebody's got to bump Matthew Jones out. What's up, Matthew?
What's up, Matt?
Well, man, Matt. My Tekken champion Matt. That's what I call him. I call him my Tekken champion. So good to see you, brother. So we sort of run this. I think we've run the gamut of this stuff. And I've been looking around. We were talking about this before the show. Other than the fact that the PlayStation blog has got a new look, which is kind of nice actually. So, and you can log into it and everything. I'm still hunting for news. I'm hunting for news for them, and it's hard because I want to. Do
you expect them to really? I mean, they're not going to be at E3. I mean, really say anything now until later on this year.
Sorry.
No, I'm just wondering. I'm just curious. I mean, I'm sure they might have something at GDC, but I mean, it's nothing big. Maybe, who knows?
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. You got to keep something in mind. Sony decided it was worth having E3 2018, even if they did things very unconventionally and they did it very differently. They still thought it was worth it. Right. John Layden. And I applaud him for this, by the way. I do applaud Sean Layden for being blunt about this in his recent Game Informer interview, in his interview with Verge and Variety. He flat out said, look, we didn't have enough to make an E3 showcase worthwhile.
Sure.
They didn't have enough to make it worthwhile, but they thought last year they did. Then, guys, I'm sorry, we're in for a silent year. Don't expect it. Days Gone is going to come out. Dreams Early Access is going to come out. Concrete Genie is going to come out. But it's going to be a silent year. They're prepping for 2020.
You don't think
they also need these other games to come out.
You don't think a PSX at end of the year?
I think maybe a PSX, but that'll be at the end of the year in December.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if they use PSX to announce a new console, that's to me, that's the death knell for an E3. if they don't even want to wait to E3 to announce a console. Like, we know Microsoft's going to do it, but I mean, it's almost like it honestly is almost like E3 is simply just Microsoft's X 2019 show. I mean, with some other, there'll be some people on the floor, but I mean, it just seems like all of the attention. That's where all the attention is going to be. And I'm it's fine, but they can't. I mean, the ESA can't live on Microsoft alone.
No. Even Microsoft, Ubisoft, Bethesda, that's a good chunk of it. But I personally think Sony could come back next year, but that's a could. I'm not going to say they absolutely will.
I'm just saying,
especially if they want to show up PS5 and all that. So,
but again, they could show off PS5 at their own show.
Yeah, but I mean, then next year at E3, they have it out on the floor. They're showing gameplay. People can actually try it out. We'll see. I mean, I think I'm curious to see how E3 is this year. We're still going to get some third-party, big games being shown, and but like Xbox, the only floor space they're using at E3 is the Mixer booth, right? Mixer
Right.
And that's what they did last year. So.
Well, actually, you know what? No, I have to take that back. We don't actually know that. Technically speaking, E3 floor plans haven't been published.
Oh, okay.
So, technically speaking, we need to bite our tongues. But I'll say this fast: I'd be shocked if that wasn't the case. Like, that will almost certainly be the case.
Yeah.
I see them doing the same thing they did last year. But I'll tell you what would be interesting, and this is what I see happening, Mike, regarding Sony. I see them holding PSX, and I see them finally giving their big three release dates. So, Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding. I see those three games finally getting some new gameplay footage and release dates.
Hopefully.
And then at the end of the show, I see them saying, "Oh, by the way, we'll see you in February." PlayStation.
February.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, because
like they did in 2013 for the announcement of the PlayStation 4.
Right.
They did their event right after the Super Bowl.
Oh, right.
Yeah, thing is that you can't. Sony is in an interesting predicament of they can't announce PS5 when there's games they promised their PlayStation 4 fan base. They can't sit there and be hyping people for The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Death Stranding, two of those games since 2016, and go, here's new hardware, but you still don't have release windows for these games. The fan backlash, like, I can already see the headlines that I would write, and I'm mild in my headline writing. So I can just imagine what other people might run with. And the thing is that these games need to have dates because if any of those three games, with the exception of maybe Death Stranding, don't hit before PS5 launches or before PS5 has a launch date, you should not have a launch date for your next console before the software you promised your previous generation has launch dates. And I think that's why pulling out of E3, they can say it's a financial thing. They can say it's a thing. The thing is that they don't have enough to show. And everyone that's sitting there going, oh, they're going to hold a PlayStation event at the same time of E3. No, they didn't have enough to show you. Stop the nonsense. If they're going to do anything, it'll be at PSX time.
Right.
You're talking about the company that canceled their fan event, then went silent for 2.5 months.
Well, that's why I'm not concerned, obviously, because what people don't understand about the industry is it ebbs and flows.
Sure.
Microsoft was in an ebb. They were definitely in an ebb. For a couple of years, and while they were reloading their studios, reloading their games, and in the meantime, Sony, gunned them out and kept things moving, and they have to reload. I mean, they just do. Naughty Dog can't work on. Apparently, they can't work on two games at one time. Santa Monica. We haven't. What's next for them? They still have to support God of War a little bit before they move on to their next thing. Yes, you have Concrete Genie and Dreams, but Media Molecule isn't owned by Sony, right? It's just second party.
Media Molecule is.
Are they owned by Sony?
They're a small team, about 60 people, but they are first party.
Okay, all right.
One of their last UK teams, too, by the way. One of the last remaining teams from the big UK buy that Sony did.
Maybe I'm thinking of Housemarque.
You're thinking of Housemarque. Yeah,
I'm thinking of Housemarque.
Yeah.
Okay. So at some point they have to reload, and that's where we're sitting. Now, what I will say though, Nick, to your point about release dates before consoles, I'm not sure about that. Which I think is going to happen for both new consoles. They're both going to be. They're both going to support all the previous games and all the games forward. So I think it's like PS4 and PS4 Pro. You're going to get people are going to be able to play Last of Us 2 on their PS4s, even if a new console is coming out. Because really, this didn't stop Microsoft from doing anything with the X.
No, but the thing is if you sold someone a PlayStation 4 Pro on the promise of The Last of Us Part 2, and then use that game as your debut for PS5, like if they use these 3 games as launch titles for PS5, there's gonna be bad feelings about it. There's just no way around it. You can't show off games for 2.5 years and then hold them off as launch titles. That's relatively unheard of. That's why Microsoft has an unveiled Fable. That's why they're being tight to their chest on some of this stuff, is because this is potential launch lineup for new hardware. Whereas Sony's in a predicament where Microsoft emptied its wad, so to speak, in terms of they've pretty much put out, once this year's over, once Ori comes out, Gears 5 comes out, Halo Infinite, you don't have to worry so much with Microsoft because backwards compatibility is a guarantee. So Halo Infinite will be on current hardware and next-gen hardware.
Right.
We don't have concrete proof that backwards compatibility is going to happen with PlayStation. So am I going to buy The Last of Us Part 2 on my PS4? And then 3 months later, they're going to be like, oh, you can buy a PS5 with The Last of Us Part 2
remastered.
It
came out 3 months ago.
Like, this is my problem, is that we've switched spots. Sony was always so open and always so talkative about what they were doing, and Microsoft was iron-lipped, or when they did talk, you're like, what are you doing?
Right.
And now we're in this situation where, like, Concrete Genie's set to release in spring. It's March.
Yeah.
What's going on? Days Gone, we're seeing stuff about that. That's the only game they're talking about. Like, we haven't heard of, like, Dreams is entering early access. The game's been in development for like 6+ years, and we're putting it into early access. That's interesting.
Right.
But there's just so many things that don't make sense that they need to clarify.
I would be shocked if for them to not be, we keep saying backward compatible, but I think we keep misusing that term. Not like Xbox One X stuff is not backward compatible with Xbox, One S. It's scaled. It's like we've got to start thinking in PC terms, in that these companies are no longer switching core hardware to go from console to console. We're not going from a PS1 that had a proprietary chip in it to the PS2 with the Emotion Engine, with PS3 with Cell, to PS4 with PC hardware. Same thing with the Xbox. The Xbox started with a Pentium 3 chip in it. Then it went to a Power PC. And then it went back to PC hardware with the Xbox One. And so that's why I think as you go forward, I think we have to start talking about whether a game scales more than whether it's backward compatible.
Right. Right, but that's the thing I think that Nick is getting at, in terms of, even with with Nintendo what they did with Breath of the Wild. It came out on Wii U and Switch. Like, make no mistake, they use an existing game that people had known about for a couple of years now to push Switch hardware, but it was still two different versions, and the Switch is under no circumstances back compatible.
And
right, go ahead.
Go ahead, Sam.
Oh, no, I was done.
Oh, okay. And the only reason people didn't freak out about Breath of the Wild is because no one gave a crap about the Wii U.
And that's the thing. Go ahead, Chris.
The thing is,
Chris wants to jump in. I see it.
What?
Oh, you look like you wanted to jump in. You leaned forward. You were hulking up.
Like, hold on. Now I was getting my beer and looking at my phone.
But here's the difference, though. The difference is Nintendo went in a whole different direction in their hardware from a console to a handheld with a dock, which is really what the Switch is. I mean, that's Nintendo being Nintendo in that they decided to just make an oversized DS. Microsoft and Sony aren't going in that direction. Neither of these companies' next console is going to be a handheld with a dock. They're going to be dedicated hardware, and I'm telling you, I would be stunned. Like, I would be absolutely gobsmacked, speechless, if either of these companies decided to take a left turn on hardware and veer away from PC hardware, because that's
I would too. That's a PR disaster waiting to happen. Like if Sony did that, Microsoft is frothing at the mouth, waiting for something like that to happen, and vice versa. It's too obvious of a trap to fall into, in theory.
Right. It would be really a bad move, because then you've lost your library. I mean, Phil Spencer stood on stage and said, no console left behind. I mean, seriously, that's your controllers, your games, which is true. I could take my Xbox One X controller upstairs and play it on my Xbox. I could take my headset upstairs. I can move between. I can take my hard drive off of this console, take it up to my Xbox that's upstairs that the kids use, and play. So I've been going back and forth playing Crackdown, when I'm not down here in the man cave. So I mean, I just can't see. I can't see it happening, and I don't think xCloud changes that, and I don't think PS Now changes that. I think they need to stay where they are so that, when they do say, here's Last of Us 2, here's how it's going to look on the PS5, but don't worry, PS Pro owners, don't worry, base PS4 owners, here's what you're going to get with that too. I think that's where they're gonna sit, and that's the right move. To me, that's the right move. Anyway,
I hope so. Yeah.
I want to say this: Fastback is my spirit animal.
Are you still alive, Ivan?
I'm still here.
We can't see you at all. What has happened to you?
I had to get off of my phone because my phone's flicking out right now.
Gotcha.
I upgraded the S10. I don't know what's going on right now, so I don't know. Yeah. Well, it's also like it's only been out for like 10 days.
Yeah.
So this still got stuff going on. But
all right. So, all right, last thing that I had for you guys for today, and I'm looking for it. So, back to Microsoft, because they're the ones that are making all the frickin' news. Where is it? Oops. The Master Chief Collection is coming to PC. And not just that, but later this year, we are getting Halo Reach on both. So for those of you who are Halo Reach fans, you're getting that. And I believe that they're giving it the Master Chief Collection treatment of 4K 60 FPS. So hang on to your hats, folks, because this is It's really funny. I've never seen a game lead into two separate entries. If you remember, this was the lead into Halo 5, right? The Halo Master Chief Collection is going to hold you over till Halo 5 came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now, the Halo Master Chief Collection is going to hold you over till Halo Infinite.
Some games stand the test of time, man. Some games stand the test of time.
I gotta talk about Halo for a minute.
Huh?
I got like two things about it. Like I've been holding my tongue about the whole Halo thing for a while. So part of me like, okay, here's public stance. Great. You get to have more games on more platforms, so everybody gets to play it. The people who are hating on this don't make any sense to me, because it's like these are old ass games. Like these games are over 10 years old. Like it's not a big deal. It's really not.
But they do. Hold on. They do stand the test of time. I mean, how many? Look, when the Master Chief Collection first came out, I rolled through the whole thing, and I would do it again if somebody asked me to. If somebody came to me and said, "Hey, I've never played Halo Master Chief Collection," I would play the first 2 games with them, and then I'd invite 2 more people and 4-player the last 2. I mean, and then I played ODST as soon as it came out. You know what? I'm probably gonna play Reach too. I mean, it's and Project Jeff says they're getting Firefight and Master Chief Collection. So I'm just saying, there's a reason. Excuse me. There is a reason that this game keeps coming back up. It's because people want it. People wanted it fixed. This is a game that could have gotten dustbinned after all the problems that they had online with it. But all people kept saying is, we want this. Could you please just fix it? And we over here in the PC side would like to play it too, if you don't mind. Well, now they're going to get to play it. And I guarantee you they're gonna. Because a lot of PC gamers haven't experienced this before.
And all they had to do was buy 343 some pizza.
Right.
I will say this on it. I have a coworker, and he's a PC master race. We talk about games, but he's a PC master race guy. So I told him about this. He didn't know about it, and so he's excited about it. He said that this is cool for him. I said, hey, you can get on Steam if you want. Cool. Now my question is this going to be cross-play with the Xbox?
Well, see, the thing is that me and Sam talked about this, because mouse and keyboard support is coming for Master Chief Collection on Xbox, which I'm super excited for. I imagine crossplay will be one of those optional things, like you can play it like in private lobbies with your friends, or you can opt into it, or it'll be like Gears of War's crossplay in terms of you can select to go into a lobby of crossplay, but you'll be separated from different player bases, because there is pretty much no argument at this point that if someone's using a mouse and keyboard in an FPS game and you're using a controller, you're at a severe disadvantage.
Oh yeah, FPS, the difference is huge. It's probably going to be opt-in, especially with mouse and keyboard support coming to the console version. They're not going to keep them separate. I think they'll have full crossplay, but they'll be opt-in.
But you could co-op, like Gears 4, you could co-op, right? PC and Xbox?
Right. Well,
yeah. Okay.
Co-op, no one's going to complain, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, my partner's a little more skilled.
Yeah. That was his thing that he was excited for, was he has a buddy who plays on Xbox console. He said, now I can play throughout all the Halo collection with my buddy co-op, and that's what he wants to do while he's on PC.
Sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that this is good for PC only players.
Oh yeah,
now they can play with all of us who only some of us who only prefer console. Now we can co-op together, so it's cool.
Exactly. There's a huge audience for these games, and that's why Microsoft puts their games on PC.
Yeah.
Because they have the data that shows if whatever they lose in console sales is well more than made up for.
Yeah.
What they're doing here. And,
people game on PC. It makes sense. Let's put our game. We are in the gaming business. Gaming is on PC, not just on consoles. So
yeah.
So there's a couple of takeaways. I have a couple of takeaways to this, and then I'll quit yapping. Let someone else.
No. Hey, man.
Hey, have you guys seen the gaming subreddit? Like our gaming, the biggest gaming related subreddit on Reddit. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Halo has completely taken over. All the top posts have to do with Halo and Halo memes and talking about how big a deal this is, and people scrolling, showing lists of their hundreds and hundreds of friends all adding it to their wish list. Like, this is a big deal.
It is.
This is a really big deal. And two, this is an incredible way for 343 to drum up support ahead of Halo Infinite, which you know they're going to show at E3. So this is perfect advertising for them.
Yep.
And third, but last but not least, I'm at this point, guys, I'll be honest. I think it's only a matter of time until Halo 5 and Halo Wars 2 hit Steam as well.
Oh, of course.
It's probably a very limited amount of time, probably a year or less.
I think that's an E3 announcement. I've thought that was an E3 announcement. So, other than the fact that they also, you could buy a good rat burger down in Reddit, I got, I get that, and it is huge. It's very huge. I'm reading through the official Xbox wire. It doesn't say anything. It really doesn't say anything about it almost doesn't mention Xbox at all. So, what I do find funny is that they're still holding on to having Splash Damage and Ruffian working on this. I guess Ruffian has redeemed themselves a little with some of the work that they did on Crackdown in the Wrecking Zone. So maybe they're getting back to a decent footing.
They're keeping the lights on there.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I forgot to also mention that Crackdown 2 is free.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So,
it is.
I didn't download that. Check that out.
You're not missing much.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So this is they do not have a date on this yet, but this looks like I think we're gonna get more. I think we're getting more of this at E3, of course. So
yeah, because they said they were gonna start off with Halo 1 first, right, and then have a schedule, then drop Halo 2.
Right.
They're not just gonna throw the whole collection.
They're starting with Reach, and they're going chronologically.
Okay.
They're going chronologically.
Yeah. Right, here sense. It is. Yeah. Our current plan for this journey is to begin with the launch of Halo Reach, the fictional beginnings of the Master Chief Saga, with the rest of the titles following in chronological order hereafter. So, let's see. Halo Reach, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo 4 will be available for individual purchase within the Master Chief Collection as they become available. So that's definitely something a little different. Something a little different than what they did on the Xbox.
Well, maybe that's what they should have done on Xbox, so they could have taken their time to get it out.
Yep.
Where it worked.
Okay, so they do. I apologize. They do talk about Xbox One on here too. Xbox One specifically, Halo Reach's multiplayer content, which includes Forge and the Theater, will be automatically included for everyone who owns Halo Master Chief Collection, while Halo Reach's campaign and firefight experiences will be offered together as a premium digital add-on. So you're going to have to buy Halo Reach.
Yep. Well, is it like $5?
Unless you are
$5.
Well, unless you're in Game Pass.
Unless you already own it.
Or Game Pass. Game Pass subscribers will have the access to the entirety of Halo Reach within Master Chief Collection as part of their subscription.
I can't wait to see people start complaining about this.
Why?
Like,
right.
This should be included for free.
You're right. Well, was ODST? I think you had to buy ODST as well.
It was ODST was given away for free to everyone who bought it at launch and like over a couple of months. If you haven't bought it by now, ODST is like $5,
right?
And that's what I expect for Reach. It'll be $5, and it's in Game Pass. Big deal,
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
How dare they? How dare Microsoft?
All I know is I'm excited to be able to play Halo on PC again, because that's how I fell in love. I didn't start playing Halo on console. I got it on PC in 2004 when they launched it through Microsoft Game Studios back in the day. Those good old back when Halo was on PC, I played hours upon hours of that game. That's what actually made me want to buy a console. Was Halo on PC. That game was amazing. And the online community for that game far outlasted anyone's expectations. That community was going strong up until, I think, like 2017. Because there was a whole big thing where I think someone managed to get either the Halo 4 textures or the Halo 5 textures transferred to PC, and someone managed to reskin the original Halo with Halo 5 textures.
Right.
And, like, Halo has a huge fan base, and the thing is that Halo is one of those games that no matter what system you prefer a game on, it's something you've played at some point. Like, I have friends that are PlayStation-only guys now that used to be 360 guys or were OG Xbox guys that are like, I need to get this game now because it's part of your history, right? And adding Reach in, like, I had, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 hours in Halo Reach. I was top 100 SWAT for, I don't know, months in that game. I loved Halo Reach. I dedicated a good portion of my gaming time to that game. So when they were like, Halo Reach is coming, I'm like, yes. And they're like, and the PC version on Steam. I'm like, yes, don't have to use the Windows Store. I am so happy.
Well, you won't have to do that here either because you can use Steam or the Windows Store. Wouldn't it be funny if this was on Epic Store too?
As an Epic exclusive.
Well, no, it's obvious. Right. Wouldn't that be? That would be hilarious.
How would Tim Sweeney be able to swing that one?
Hey, man. Look, if if Bill Gates could show up on a big screen at an Apple conference one year, I'm sure Tim Sweeney can bend to the knee if the money is there.
Hey, technically, Tim Sweeney already bent the knee. He showed up for their HoloLens presentation.
That's true. That is
and admitted that it was really good and open source and that they would support it. So
yeah. Well, of course, after they went and did what they said Microsoft was doing to destroy the industry, then they go and they do it themselves. That's a whole separate. It's a whole separate discussion. It's like the joke that I always tell about Bungie, how they they wanted to leave Microsoft so they could go make something other than Halo, and then they go off and make Halo. So I feel that it's Tim Sweeney. The money talks, man. That's all I can say. Money talks. So.
Well, how many more Lamborghinis does Tim Sweeney honestly need at this point? That's just my question. Like, how many does he have with how much Epic Games is making right now?
Man, you've been to Cary? There's nothing in Cary. The closest thing to Cary is Raleigh, and that's it. You'll forget, Epic Games is like in my back door. Like, my cousin even works for Epic Games.
Oh, that's
Fortnite.
right.
Mm-hmm. I'll pour one out for him later.
Well, he used to work on like Paragon.
Oh
my god!
Then they literally scrapped everything and put them on Fortnite. It's like soul shattering. Like,
all right, I got one more thing for you guys before we call it, because I know, Ivan, you've got to work in the morning, so I promise.
Yeah.
I did promise that we weren't gonna run past midnight, and I'm gonna keep that promise. But I thought you guys might like to see this. This hit only because this was surprising to me that this game is still being worked on. No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, the coming in summer 2019, so not too long. They're not calling it an MMO, but here's basically what they're doing. So, No Man's Sky Online includes a new radical social and multiplayer experience which empowers players everywhere in the universe to meet and play together. So they're actually going to have folks... Hey! Aw, hello!
Oh, this is my...
Hi!
Yesterday was her birthday, so she's now 6.
Happy birthday! Right? Happy birthday!
Hey!
Aw.
Right.
So, where was I? So they're actually going to let you actually see people. You can actually meet up with people. You can actually look and see actual other players now.
Can you feel them?
You could feel them in VR, maybe. So no. So while this brings people together like never before and has many recognizable online elements, we don't consider No Man's Sky to be an MMO. It won't require a subscription, won't contain microtransactions, and will be free for all existing players. So that's what's coming.
Yeah, me and Coop, we played this.
I know you. I know. That's why I brought this up, because I know that you have. I know that I know a couple of you here have played No Man's Sky and continue to play No Man's Sky. So I thought this would interest you.
Yeah, definitely jump back in it and check it out.
He had his chance for a comeback. He'd already had it. You can't come back twice. Otherwise, it's just what was it, 360?
Yeah. Right, you come all the way back around to the front.
Well, let's face it. You know what? I am one of the biggest people that criticize Sean Murray and Hello Games because, I was all down with the milk carton with his face 2 weeks after launch when everyone was like, "What is this game?" and he disappeared, and he took a lot of flack and a lot of deserved flack. I will say that there was definitely some pressure from publishers in regards to No Man's Sky and getting it out the door. He admitted himself that he wasn't happy with the way the game launched, obviously. With the threads upon threads upon threads of threats. Problem was that game was stuck in a corner. They delayed it once, and I'm not sure if everyone remembers that one, but that was one of the worst backlashes for delays that I can think of in recent memory. But they came back, what was it? 6 months ago? 8 months ago now? A while ago.
Oh, it was like a year ago.
Yeah, I would say at least 9 months ago. At least 9.
At least when they decided they were going to bring the game to Xbox. And what sold me on Sean Murray all over again was him coming onto Inside Xbox and looking at the floor and them being like, "So, we never thought we'd be here." And he grinned, he bared it, he talked about his game, and the thing is with that big Next update that they brought out when they brought it to Xbox, he literally hit every checkbox that he promised. He hit, you can play with your friends, you can do this. He checkboxed everything that he had promised. So those guys went, they took the criticism from the launch of that game, which was disastrous. They turned it around, delivered the product they promised, and now they're taking it beyond that, ironically called Beyond. They're taking it beyond the original scope of the game. And I applaud him. Very few people would come back after the amount of criticism he did, but he came back and is still working on that product. And that shows dedication and love to that IP that he's created.
July 24th is when Next came out.
Yeah, so it's going to be almost a year by the time. It'll be a year when this update launches.
Right.
And I don't know how many people have played No Man's Sky. I dabbled in it a bit. It is really impressive for the size of team they were to pull off that game.
Yeah.
I think their team size was something like under 20 people. It's like 16, 20 people, something like that. Sam will correct me because he's
no, that's about right. That's about right.
And the size of the world and everything else, procedural generation, it was ahead of the curve in a lot of aspects. And I'm just really glad to see the game get a second chance.
Well, and I mean, we last year we also commented on this when they came back. Everybody thought that they were basically going to close their doors and roll out, and they were basically just hunkering down and trying to fix the game. I give them all the credit in the world for. I mean, this is a company that could have folded up shop and said, you know what, let's just run for the hills, and they didn't. They took the blows. They sat and they worked on it, brought out Next, and you're right. Now they're this is another large expansion, which is free, so you gotta give them a ton of credit for sticking with the game.
Yeah, I give them way more credit than I'll ever give the developers of DayZ, who have literally put in early access on every platform they can get it on, sell it for $40, but never deliver a finished product.
Well, right, and now they're gonna deliver a non-finished product to the Xbox.
Yeah, well, does everyone remember my favorite memory of that development cycle was DayZ creator being so proud of that game, him selling marketing rights exclusively to PlayStation in 2015 for millions upon millions of dollars, and then he disappeared. No one's seen or heard from this guy since. He literally just took the money and physically ran.
This man is a genius.
Right. Reminds me.
That's what I want to do. I want to do that as my thing. Is create this great pitch, sell the marketing rights, disappear off the face of the earth, have a tell-all book deal. That's it.
Right.
Possibly a movie.
Well, actually, it's funny because you look at
you basically just described Platinum Games.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
The best part about DayZ though is my favorite part about DayZ is that one of the developers that got stuck working on it that ended up quitting was Brendan Green, who became PlayerUnknown, who started PUBG. PUBG was started out of the failures of DayZ and H1Z1.
Right.
And I just find it hilariously ironic that PUBG has been launched for, good Lord knows how long, and started development afterwards, yet DayZ's here's $40 for early access to a game that's been in development since 2013, 12?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
See, this is the problem with games that launch with too large of a scope. And they go into early access or they never come out. Because they're never going to truly deliver on what the scope is, because whatever they say the final product is just going to disappoint. They just sit there forever. But PUBG was always going to come out of early access, but because they had a set structure of what the game was going to be, and they got the product and they put it out there. Yeah, it doesn't run great, but there we go.
Yeah, but so it's like Red Dead Online. It's still in beta. We're just gonna leave it in beta because we don't want to admit it's terrible and we screwed it up. So it's in beta.
Or you could be like Star Citizen.
Oh my god!
I was just gonna say that that he's sitting there having beers with Roberts.
Cloud Imperium. Yeah.
Yes, with Chris Roberts. What a
that's
fall!
That's $75 I'm never gonna get back.
What a fall from grace!
You know what, man? I guarantee you, within the next 10 years, there will be a movie about this game. I guarantee you, there will be a movie.
There'll be a movie before the game comes out. I mean,
no, you get Cameron to direct it, and then it'll take another 10 years for the movie to come out.
I mean,
Avatar 2, really capitalizing on that Avatar hype.
Right, Avatar 2, Star Citizen. I mean, I as an old man gamer, when you say Chris Roberts to me, I don't think Star Citizen. I think Origin Games. I think Wing Commander. I cannot, for the life of me, understand how the man who created Wing frickin' Commander went from that to a game that has been in development for 8 years, $250 million.
The highest budget game of
all time with crowdfunding. People that are never gonna get that money back.
Yeah.
I mean,
dude, they spent money. It was like a $250,000 on a sliding Star Trek door.
Yes.
Why?
I mean,
Why?
I don't get it.
And they have the balls to ask for yet more money.
Yes.
You know what? The only thing that rivals the door, the only thing that rivals that was when Hideo Kojima took like $2 million of Konami's money and made a fake studio to not announce Metal Gear Solid 5. That's probably
that's different. That's very different. Although I am not a big fan of Kojima, I respect him. Any company that is willing to throw away millions of dollars on your pet projects of just getting Mads Mikkelsen and Norman Reedus to pose naked and have those random stuff done to them, I have to respect that, man. How can you be mad? But the thing with Cloud Imperium is they're literally just scamming people at this point. There will be a movie out of this, and they will frame it as the greatest hustle of the early 2000s. It's gonna come out. They're gonna hit like $500 million in funding of just people giving it, and the game still doesn't exist.
He created Wing Commander.
I don't care if he created Wing Commander. I don't care if he invented Tetris.
One of my favorite... I understand. That's what I'm saying. One of my all-time top favorite games ever. It was at the pinnacle of my PC gaming. Was when I played Wing Commander. I did the fact that this man has basically more or less... I mean, how close is this to committing a crime? I mean, I don't want to get sued for saying something that isn't true, but I mean, how this is.
See, what tells me the man is scamming people? There's one thing that told me more than anything else. Not just the people can be bad with money. That's not what got to me. Is that when people started calling him out for it? If you have to defend yourself in a comment section, that's when you know someone's not legit. Because when Derek Smart showed up out of nowhere and started criticizing him again, I mean, and admittedly, that's something that they're gonna have to deal with, but they didn't need to at all. He didn't need to do that at all, but instead, he insisted on getting involved. He insisted on inserting himself in there to go against Derek Smart's claims about misuse of funds and such. And when you have to do that, that is proof to me that you do have something to hide at that point. Because if it was nothing, you'd ignore it. You'd walk it away. It wouldn't be a big deal.
This is the guy who produced Lucky Number 11. Wow. I can't get over it. Ay.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you go, Project Jeff. There's your Star Citizen discussion. All right. So I don't think I've got anything else tonight. Anybody have anything they want to bring up?
Fallout 76 Wild Appalachia is live.
What?
Fallout 76 Wild Appalachia's update is live.
All right.
You can start brewing Nuka Shine.
Great.
Yes.
I'm going to log into Fallout 76, and you're going to be wearing overalls, aren't you?
Now
I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of overalls on such a character.
Now that Fallout 4 is officially on Game Pass, I might have to go give that a run once I'm done with all these other games. Free beats. Free beats $70 every day. Although I have so Division 2, I've got Microsoft rewards that I'm going to put towards that, so it's only going to cost me like $10. So I'm good there. These other games, now I got to worry about Psycho Shadows Die Twice. Now I got to worry about that. Thank you, Sam. Why couldn't you just left that one alone and let me forget that it was coming back?
Is this a good time to remind you that Metro Exodus is out and it's awesome?
Son of a bitch. You know what? I shout out to Witty, who did I'm putting it up on YouTube now, but he did a Ranger hardcore playthrough of that
nice.
game.
Okay, nice work.
On Twitch, it's 6 hours. I'm breaking it up into our YouTube videos. He rolled that, and what was really funny was I started to see if I could edit his deaths out, but then with editing out his deaths, edited out all of his cussing, and then I was like, no, because
that's what makes witty.
Exactly, that is WDFC, right, Chris?
Yes.
So
cannot control all that.
That is okay. I'm okay with that. They are the not safe. They are the not safe for work version of NLG now. That is basically what WDFC is. They are our not safe for work brothers.
Shout out to Siberia.
Yeah.
Siberia in the chat.
Chat Corpse.
Need to jump back on Sea of Thieves with him.
Yeah, he's almost done with that. I haven't done that in a while.
And shout out to the Rasputin of gaming, Undead 3XVI.
The Rasputin of gaming.
I'm not sure if I should be offended or not. I'm just going to assume to be offended.
All right,
Sir.
So it is almost midnight. So I think pending nobody else has anything to talk about, I think we're gonna call this here. This is part 1 of our part 2 crossover. So Ivan, even though we can't see you, do you wanna tell the people about part 2?
Yes, so part 2 will be live on Multiverse Show on Monday night at 8 p.m. I know that's really early for some of you followers here, so I mean, who am I?
It is 5 o'clock on the West Coast,
Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to be doing this live on our show at Multiverse Show on YouTube, and we'll be streaming live to the masses. We're going to play expression the entire time.
What?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at Sam right now. I'm like, I'm sorry.
And we can't see you, so we have no idea what you're actually laughing at.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm looking at Sam right now. So,
Sam, stop making him laugh.
So,
Thank you so much, Ivan. Thank you so much. Glad I bring this going your life.
Daz says it's 4 a.m. It's early for him.
Sam, what's that shirt you're wearing? I'm trying to see what.
This is a.
Tomb Raider,
I think this is a large. Yeah.
No, what size? What's the symbol on it? What's the?
This is a shirt. This is a shirt I got at E3 2017. It's for Middle Earth: Shadow of War.
Nice.
Okay,
What?
cool.
I
thought I recognized that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm wearing a large shirt.
What? We gotta specify.
So I don't know. I can't fit in it. All right. So. And hopefully Daz in the chat. Hopefully his back is feeling better, man. He got laid out this week, so I know he was on the good stuff. Hopefully he's
Carrying your butt in those games, right?
Oh, look at me.
This man talking from my backpack. Get back in there.
No. I got you a backpack, Nick. I'll put it in the chat for you. I got you a backpack, so we're playing Overwatch. You can carry me.
Oh no.
Is this a backpack from Fallout 76?
No.
You got extra of those? You can send my way. I know you do. Real quick too. Before we go, I want to give a quick shout out to Daz. He and I've seen on Twitter too. But so Daz, he had picked up. He got a free from EKSA. They sent him one of these, the E900s. Y'all seen these?
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
So they sent him one of these. I've been seeing them going around. They're like, it's a good intro, early, new headset going around. And so I picked one up for like 20 something bucks on Amazon. So that's what I've been wearing right now. So,
Nice.
Pretty cool.
it's comfortable. I figured I picked up one of these to be like my second pair because I use my Turtle Beach 600s, wireless, but these are like my second pair for if I'm in the other room or I gotta charge the wireless. So to shout out to Daz, I saw him. They gave him a pair and he had streamed those headsets. So
Nice.
I picked one up because of him.
Nice.
Nice.
No. And why don't you inform the folks about WDFC while we're thinking about it?
Who the F cares? But no. See, normally I try to do WDFC show on YouTube, on the NLG YouTube channel. We try to do it every 2 weeks, but normally at least once a month. So next week we should be back on. Next Friday, probably around like 1 p.m. Eastern or so. It's kind of early show. So everybody's invited. You guys, if you're home, you want to jump in, I'll send you a link. Everybody's invited.
Hey, talk about whatever you want.
Yeah.
No.
It's kind of BS with everybody that wants to jump in.
Yep. And then Daz and Witty and anybody else from that as well. They're becoming our streaming arm of NLG. So Daz has been putting some great stuff on our Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Like I said, Witty, man, with that Ranger Hardcore Metro was fantastic. So I mean, we could see stuff like Treasure Stack, and I'm trying to get he's trying to get some more games for game codes and stuff. So we're really starting to try to ramp up our streaming, and we're going to do it through these guys because they're awesome streamers. And what is it? Daz, when he did Treasure Stack, the developer said, "Could you narrate my life like Morgan Freeman?" I thought that was hilarious. That was awesome.
He liked his voice.
He liked his voice so much. So, so Sam and Nick, while you guys are here, talk about. Let's see, Nick, talk about the as you are a fellow Inner Circle Network affiliate with Sam. Talk about Gamer Perspective.
It's a podcast I do with Sam, Jared, and Eric. I had forgot who it was because he's very rarely there lately.
When you're down on the boat, you're down on the yacht, man.
It's hard. It's hard living in Florida, man.
I know. When I jump in chat, I'm like, "Where's Eric?"
I dunk him every episode. He's not there.
Just like we do a Multiverse.
Yeah, like my attendance at Multiverse, I think I've showed up for one episode this year. But yeah, Gaming Perspective every Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That will be changing. Going to be changing a lot of stuff in the upcoming few weeks.
There you go.
Switching to pre-recording, getting off Google Hangouts, big guests coming on. See how things turn out. It's going to be a hectic couple of weeks, so...
As long as you're not coming on Friday nights, we're all right.
No. I'm sitting there because we're switching to pre-recording. I'm sitting there going, "When's a good time to drop a podcast?" So I'm looking at all the people I follow and all their podcasts. I'm sitting there going, "All right, so 5 a.m. on a Monday."
Sweet. And Sam, give us a little bit on your great work over at the TIC Network, the Inner Circle Network.
Yeah, so you guys can find everything we write at gamesnetwork.com. We do, my admittedly biased opinion, a very good job of covering all the gaming news, all the movie, superhero movies and stuff like that that's going on. The Google stuff is obviously bearing down on us. In just a couple of days, we'll be covering that event. We'll see what's going on there. And I have my review of Devil May Cry 5, which is dropping in exactly 8 hours.
Nice.
To be precise. So.
All right. Well, we need to get you to sleep so that you can get it up.
Yep, something like that.
All right.
Quick shout out to you, Sam and Nick. I love you guys' articles that you guys throw out. You guys put out some quality stuff. Back in the day, as an old school guy, I used to always, of course, read reviews, gaming articles, but nowadays, I go to you guys, check you guys out, y'all's articles, so I appreciate that.
Passing the torch on to the next generation.
Yeah, passing the torch. I'm good with that.
I'm calling dibs on Mike's walker because my back hurts. Mainly from carrying Anchor and Rainbow Six Siege, but we'll move on.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Wow.
I believe I have more than made up for my abilities with sound blanking in PUBG and being a tactical nuke of sorts in Overwatch. I think I've done plenty.
Just never ask me to heal people.
Let's just say who's got all those play of the games in Overwatch.
Oh my god, we're not talking about this. I'm not doing this with you right here. We're gonna stream this. We're gonna stream this.
When was the last time you had a play of the game, Undead?
About what time is it? 12? About 3 hours
6 months ago.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and Daz is going to do a video review of Devil May Cry as well, and he'll do that here. And on his YouTube channel.
Nice.
So, looking forward to that and some streaming from him. And also, since we're, one last affiliate we need to make sure that we talk about and shout out to is our awesome friends over at Four Guys with Quarters. Inferno and Clowns and Assassin. Those guys, man, what a great group of gamers, man. They're so I wish that I could listen to them. I wish I could listen to them live. They're unfortunately on when I'm driving, but I always make time to listen to them afterwards because they're awesome. And Inferno's a fellow Sega man like me, so anybody who loves Sega like he does and I do, we're destined to be friends forever. BFFs. So he left. He had to go to sleep, but he knows. So I'm actually going to recruit him for our Sega show coming up.
Nice.
So
You need to have a NLG guys with quarters too.
We need to do that. We need to do that crossover as well. So
yeah, you gotta call it 4 guys on the next level.
Okay. All right. Oh,
of my apartment.
So we'll get Siberia on for the Nintendo show, but we're working on. I'm working on getting everything together for a Sega specific show, and we'll let you know when that's happening. So don't forget.
Whoa.
Go ahead. What?
Did you just see what happened to Chris?
What?
His daughter just disappeared.
Oh,
what?
It was really.
Oh,
it was really creepy. It was like. I'm looking at this on my screen and I just it froze, but then next time it came back, she's just gone.
Oh, she got a Barbie. Well, oh man, she's giving you the evil look, Ivan.
I know.
Oh, she's very adorable. And once again, happy birthday. All right, so
said happy birthday.
Also, do not forget, folks, that we are working on revamping our YouTube channel thanks to WDFC and the great work that they're doing. So you'll find this. I'm going to hold off on this one. I'm going to start. I've been starting to put the new episodes up for the show here on Mondays, but I'm going to hold off on Tuesdays since we're going to be on Multiverse Monday night. We're really working on the content over there, and of course, you want to catch the live show. It's right here on Twitch, Friday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank you guys, Sam, Ivan, Nick. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for the invite.
Always.
Really appreciate it. We had some great conversations that were unexpected. It's great.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, and that's
The
what
best
it's all
kind of
about.
conversations.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, it's what makes us different. You guys and us. It's what makes us different than what else is out there, and I love it. So, shout out to Peter, who is packing for he won't be here, I think, next week either. He is on a cruise.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's going on a cruise. So
They didn't even invite us.
I know.
All right, damn, man.
So
Rob us out like that.
I know. So, anyway, we will thank you, everybody in chat. Sorry I couldn't chat as much today. We were starting to bot out for a few minutes, so I kind of minimized what I was doing, and I'll probably just next time reboot before starting the show. But thank you to the chat room. You guys are awesome as usual. We love you guys. You're the reason that we're here. So, and we're not just sitting in a Xbox party. So, I'm going to go off and play some Crackdown. I don't know about you guys, but I got to get that out of the way before I play anything else. So, Ivan?
I'm out. I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, I can see that. So, yeah, we are out. Everybody have a great week. We'll see you later. Play on, gamers.
They're on Skype. They have their cameras.
All right.